Hello, and this is EC the Gamer, and this is pretty much the final video of Metro 2033. So I want to be clear, Metro 2033 Redux. The next game that I'm going to be playing is this, of course, but this is pretty much the final thoughts and slash review of Metro. So yeah, I'm not going to be showing gameplay like some of the other reviews. I'm just going to pretty much talk. Uh, I'm going to just talk about it. It's not going to be a really long video. I mean, it's not supposed to be. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at something. Yeah. So yeah, finally finished the game. Wow. It's really an amazing experience, The game is impressive. Yeah, I want to explain a bit about this game, I always knew of Metro, but I knew that it was like a PC game. I didn't even know that it was based on the books. But then in the PS3 era, the second game called Metro Last Light came, and I actually bought that game. And I liked the game, but at the end of it, I really was confused. Well, since the beginning of the game, I was confused. I didn't understand anything, and I knew that that was the thing that I was most scared of, to play that game without playing the first one. And based on what I'm playing here, damn, is it good to actually play it, because I can most definitely, I'm now going to understand even more, much better, the circumstances surrounding the second game. So yeah, I'm glad that I finally played this. But yes, regarding this game, I gotta say the gameplay is incredible. The difficulty that I play it made it seem like easy, but I know that if you play this on a more difficult level, I believe it's called the Spartan level, Spartan mode, I believe it's much more difficult, because for example in my case, I got enough ammunitions. I was able to survive getting a lot of resources, but I assume if you put in a more difficult setting, it's going to be more tougher, because what's so cool about the game is that you have to be, if you go on the outside specifically, on the surface, not necessarily the surface, sometimes in the metro itself, you have to use the mask. You have to be careful of your time, sometimes, yeah, how do I say this? It's not just about fighting the monsters or the humans, or you have to be, you have to be, you have to see how much of the gas on the mask, how much of it you have, because you have to be constantly changing your filters and everything. And that gives a very interesting, a very interesting mechanic to the gameplay. So yeah, the story, amazing story. Artyom, is what's interesting is he actually speaks, but it's more like in the diaries and these intros that the game have. He's explaining the story. It's pretty much like it already happened. It's just telling the story of how everything happened, and all the events. yeah, you know, I was extremely impressed with how the game ended. There are actually two endings to the game. I actually saw the two endings, the good and the bad ending. And based on what I saw, the story was very human-like, but it makes sense. But what I mean is that you can definitely see the hardship of the people of the metro, how they have to live, how they have to survive. Like all the stations, they are constantly being attacked either by the mutants or by the Red Army or the Nazis. So it's like the metro is really a horrible place to live, but at the same time, that's what you have. You have to. A lot of the people are accustomed to it. Uh,
Good luck in the tunnel, stranger.
I did enjoy a lot of the aspects of the game. The mechanics, incredible. The music also. The one thing that I didn't like was the fact that uh, uh, it just seems that the game wanted you to be alone all the time. Each time that you would get an ally, he will either go away or something, but by the end, I just got accustomed. I didn't like it, but I got accustomed to it. There was every now and then there was a glitch that was bothersome, but I was able to handle it, so no trouble in that part. No real trouble. But let's talk about the story. You see, when you're playing this game, there are something called the moral choices, or moral points. That there are events on the game. Sometimes there are ones that are clear, others are not so clear. That if you finish them, you can actually change the way the game ends. By the end, I actually got most of the moral points, the good ones, and I was able to see the two endings. If you saw the previous video, I actually talked about that I was going to look on the internet for more information about the endings, and I actually discovered that the the canon story and the canonical story is actually the bad ending, the one where Artyom actually throws the missiles and everything. Uh, and it's not because it's like, from what I read, the the book.
I was born in Moscow,
Yeah,
but I remember nothing of that time.
always I seen this. So yes,
I was just an infant when the old world was destroyed.
let me skip it. Yeah. Uh, the book, I think the ending is pretty much like Artyom knows that they are not, like the Dark Ones are not actually bad, but by the time he realizes it, he's he doesn't have enough time, and he can't do anything. So it's pretty much what happened in the game, It's like at the end you pretty much have to decide to destroy the laser or not destroy it. If you destroy it, you save the Dark Ones. If you don't destroy it, they eventually, the missiles hit on the area where the Dark Ones live and they die.
Silent and deadly.
Um, but it's really cool at the end where you see the Dark Ones, like at one point they're like, oh, he's here, he understands, but we don't have any, he's there again. The way the Dark Ones talk in your mind is very like phrases only, and they're like saying like, oh, here comes Artyom, he understands us, so there's no problem. But then we go
Protect yourself.
more up and up to the tower, and they're like, whoa, wait a second. Uh, I think this is more dangerous than we thought, and he's actually going to kill us. So they begin like this mental attack, and if you're when you're successful, you know,
Fresh
on
bullet.
stopping the mental attack, in the last moment they actually, one of the dark ones is a head-to-head. You're trying in a head-to-head battle, trying to stop you, and you're given a gun with a phrase that I really like. A phrase that Hunter tells. Is the Hunter tells at the end.
Tastes like
Is it hostile? You kill it. Like, I really love it. If it's hostile, you kill it. And yes, based on that, you have to decide. Either you kill him or not. But that's only if you actually got all the moral points. So the moral points, I was able to get them, saving people, killing as least as possible.
freshest meat around. Come on. Hey.
So yeah, story-wise, that aspect of this game is incredible. I really enjoy it, and anyone who plays it, I totally recommend this game. You should definitely play it.
Bullets, knives, explosives for sale here.
It's the game is always alternating from going to the metro, the tunnels, then going to the surface, then going again to the tunnels. You're always constantly changing levels, so the game has you. It's a bit tedious at one point because you explore a lot, but it's really fun.
Come here, don't be
It's
shy.
enjoyable. I like the looking for supplies, changing the filters, the weapons. Sorry. The weapons, yes, they're really cool designs. But unfortunately, I didn't use a lot of them because once I got a certain set of weapons, I got enamored with those weapons, and I just stuck with those weapons, and that was it. But there are flamethrowers, shotgun, different type of shotguns, different assault rifles. There's like pressure weapons, I believe they're called. So there are a different type of weapon, but I didn't use them a lot, but they're actually cool. So you know, all the weapons are really good. Are really good in the game. So there's no problem with them. How what? Let me see what more can I talk about the game. Uh, yeah, I really enjoy it. I like the characters. Most of the companions that you get in the game, from Khan, Bourbon, Miller, Holman, there's some of the ones that I remember. Yeah, they're all cool guys. I really like them. The interesting enough, now that I notice, this game didn't have any villains, in the sense that it's very interesting. Most of the game they have a villain, this bad guy or something. This game didn't have it because, yeah, you were fighting at one point the Nazis and the Red Army, but we were not fighting a general. We were just trying to pass through them,
I have all kinds of guns for sale.
and yeah, yes, there was no villain. Like, maybe the dark ones were considered the villains, but pretty much in my case I didn't consider them villains in the beginning of the game. So yeah, I totally recommend this game. If I give it a rating,
Bullets, purchase, exchange, sale.
it's between an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. So let me give it like an 8.5, like that. because there were some problems and everything, but not a big thing, but it's definitely 8.5. Yeah, I give it that out of 10 points. So yes, it is a really amazing game. Uh, what more can I talk? I know that I gave it that rating, but I just trying to. So yes, I I I just want to say this here. Uh, the next game, I don't know if I'm going to continue immediately, but I'm going to continue with the Metro Last Light, of course. But for all to, I want to make it clear that that game I have already played when it was on the PS3, so it was a long time ago. I don't remember a lot of the details, pretty much anything. I do remember one thing. I do get the bad ending of that game, but I never understood the bad ending. Uh, I didn't understand the bad ending because I really pretty much I really didn't understand the game as a whole. You know, I didn't understand the dark ones. I didn't understand anything about that game. So yeah. So when I play it again, I already lose some information on how to. I don't know how the game actually. I don't know what is the good ending and the bad ending. I didn't find information of that. I tried to focus on the events. So I got a bit of a list here. So I'm going to try to get the ending, the good ending, because that's what I wanted. You know, in the first game. That's why I tried so hard. And by the way, in this game, I did it without actually looking at yes, without looking at any information, you know. So, but I think it's because this time was much easier than the second one. I think the second game is more difficult to get the good ending, at least for me. I never got it the first try, so. But I think the reason why I didn't, I think that I think it had to do with that, you know. The reason why I didn't get the good ending is because I never understood the story, so I didn't understand a lot of the mechanisms in the game. Like for example, the moral points, I really didn't even know anything about that, so I went blind that game. So and that was the fate, you know. This game, because of the previous experience that I got from the previous gun, Last Life, I was already prepared that there was some choices that you make that changes the ending. But yes, wow, you know, I really enjoyed the game. I'm going to leave this here, you know. I really enjoyed the game.
I was born in Moscow, but I remember nothing of that time.
At one point, I thought that the game was going to be about the monsters on the metro and all of that. But the game actually ended. Yeah, that's the tower. I believe that's the tower. Yeah.
I, along with 40,000 others,
but yes,
were saved by retreating to the metro stations deep under the city.
I thought the game was about this, as it said, the metro. But no, there are like supernatural things.
20 years have passed, and going up into the embrace of an endless winter was left to a few brave souls.
You know, since the beginning, I loved the game. But when we met Khan, one of the characters in the game, that guy got me enamored with the metro and the story.
And our fortress against the nightmarish mutants who roamed the tunnels.
Yeah, this is, you know, I see this in the harsh life that these people live.
Still,
it's incredible.
We never gave up hope that we would return to the surface.
Yeah.
But one day, a new threat appeared. And we found ourselves in a war to determine the very existence of our species.
The life that these people have on the metro is really horrible. To constantly survive, that's a really, you know, constantly trying to survive and everything. You know, yeah, I love the game. An 8.5 out of 10. That's my rating at the end of the game. Gameplay, you know, you're definitely going to love it. If it's based on the gameplay, you know, it's very unique. If it's the story, you're also going to like it. Everything, you know, the game is true and true is pretty much an amazing game. So yeah, the next game is going to be Metro Last Light. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be immediately, but definitely the next game that I'm going to be. I'm going to continue the story. So the thing is that I'm playing Jack 2 and Rogue Galaxy, so I don't know if I'm going to Jack 2 first. I still don't know. I'm still unsure, so we'll see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed this final thoughts / review, give me your hit that like button. Also leave a comment. You know, what were your thoughts about the game series? You know, as a whole. And yeah, don't forget to ring the notification bell. You know. So yeah, I think that's all for now. There's nothing more that I can say. Again, I'm not an expert in this thing of reviews, but suffice it to say, you know, the ending, both ending I really enjoy. So yeah, this is Easy the Gamer signing out, and I'll see you next time.